At Travis's home in Snowflake, Arizona, we interviewed him and one of the witnesses to the UFO, Mike Rogers.
There were 7 of us on the way home from work. We were riding down a dirt road in a pickup, and we saw an object hovering off to the side of the road. It was a glowing disc-shaped object. It was about 90 feet away. It was hovering about, I'd say, 15 to 20 feet off the ground. I got out of the truck and went closer. I wanted to get a closer look at it. I realized for the first time what he was doing, and I realized that it was dangerous. I expected it to, fly away when I got closer, but instead, when I got up there, it started to move and to make a loud sound, which scared me. I yelled at him, and I told him, get the hell away from there. I raised up and turned to go, and then all of a sudden, the object apparently blasted him with some sort of a ray or bolt of light or something. I felt a numbing shock and lost consciousness, and that was the last I knew until I woke up aboard the craft. When I saw this bright, blinding light, I turned back just in time to see Travis flying back through the air. He hit the ground about 10 feet or so from where he had been standing. At that point, with the blast that the saucer had given him, it was such an incredible thing. It was just unbelievable. I was in an instant panic. The guys behind me, somebody says, "Get the hell out of here." So I hit the gas, and we took off down the road.
Mike Rogers and the other 5 witnesses returned only to find Travis missing. After they told their astounding story to the police, they came under suspicion of murder. An intense search for Travis Walton proceeded for 3 days, using a large posse, dogs, and helicopters. They were unable to find him or any signs of where he was. Finally, it was suggested that the 6 witnesses take a polygraph test to establish the truth or fallacy of their story.
We told them, we'll take polygraph tests, we'll take sodium pentothal, hypnosis, anything you can give us, because this thing really happened, and we don't like this thing about you accusing us of murder, which several of them had openly.
Arrangements were made for Cy Gilson, a highly qualified polygraph examiner who was a member of the Arizona State Polygraph Association, to conduct the polygraphs on the 6 witnesses to Travis Walton's UFO encounter. The utmost care in administering these lie detector tests was exercised because the men were under suspicion of murder.
Once the tests got underway, he started changing his mind very quickly. After he'd tested about 3 of the 6, he seemed to be acting differently. By the time he had tested all of us, he seemed to be a believer. I talked to him after the tests, and he indicated to me that apparently he was wrong. Unofficially, he said that he believed that we had told the truth, because 5 of us passed the test. He wrote in his report that we had told the truth, that apparently there had been a UFO. This was a very emotional thing for Travis's family and emotional for us. Travis was my best friend, and our whole lives have been disrupted by this. We wondered if we would ever see him again. When I regained consciousness, I was laying on my back. I came to slowly. I was in a lot of pain in my head and chest area. At first I thought I was in a hospital, but when I could finally see, I saw these beings standing over me, and I just became hysterical. They were about 5 feet tall. They had no hair, no eyelashes, eyebrows, very large heads, very large eyes. The rest of their features, nose, mouth, and ears were small, and they were very white looking. I knocked them away from me and jumped off of the table there, and they started to come toward me. I grabbed an object off of the bench there and threatened them. They stopped and turned around and left the room. I was afraid they'd come back, so I left there looking for a way out. I went into another room where there was a chair. There was some kind of projection or some kind of a viewing thing in this room where you could see a map of the stars. A man came in while I was trying to find a way out there, and this was a human-looking person.